you for tuning in to the AAU TV Mid-Week news, coming to you from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in Accra, Ghana. My name is Mamiekwa Utakwa Nyame. And I am Ajaman Otredako. And now in our headlines on higher education, UK student visas break record ceiling. University professor calls for investigations. And also, earthquake wrecks Turkey and Syria, over 5,000 lives lost.
In our Discovery story, KNUST students makes filter paper from agricultural waste. And in our sports story, Morocco earmarked to host AFCON 2025. Please stay with us for more news on AAU TV Mid-Week. We'll be right back.
A skills gaps analysis between 2018 and 2022 has revealed that 75% of the curricula by Ghana's technical and vocational education and training institutions are outdated.
The analysis was matched with an audit of 10 economic sectors, which disclosed that between 2018 to 2022, there was also an ineffective mode of teaching at the various TVET institutions, which diversely impacted the productivity levels of graduates from schools on the job market. This was disclosed by the Director General of the Commission for TVET, Dr. Fred Che Asamoah, at a media briefing on the first 5-year strategic plan 2018 to 2022 for transforming TVET in the country. The 5-year strategic plan to transform TVET in the country is expected to establish strong links between industry and TVET providers, academia, and also address issues of skill mismatch between training institutions and industry. Dr. Asamoah indicated that currently, the gaps in the curriculum are being addressed under the Ghana Jobs and Skills Project, which is expected to develop 100 competency-based training packages from Level 1 proficiency to Level 5 higher national diploma of National TVET qualification framework. Currently, one of the biggest drawbacks in the provision of quality TVET is the poor state of training facilities and equipment and the lack of linkage to industry. Only a handful of formal TVET institutions and providers are considered well equipped to provide training, he revealed. Touching on the next 5 years under the strategic plan, Dr. Asamoah said the government was looking forward to launching the TVET transformation plan and developing a TVET policy. He added that, as part of the regulatory mandate of the Commission, there would be a stronger monitoring mechanism with tracer studies in TVET institutions, especially at the technical universities, stressing that the Commission is working towards bridging innovation and learning in TVET.
Meanwhile, Government of the United Kingdom has hit its 2030 target for the number of international students in its international education strategy 10 years early. This is due to the high rise of study visas issued to non-European Union citizens, both main applicants and dependents.
The recent rapid increase in student visas have been attributed with the introduction of the graduate visa launched in July 2021, which grants graduates of UK institutions and their dependents at least 2 years of unrestricted work rights in the UK. This post-study work visa has existed since 2004. In 2011, just over 40,000 such visas were granted. However, at the end of September 2022, there were over 70,000 graduate visas granted, whereas reports indicate that these numbers are likely to increase. The government has expressed a desire to reduce net migration. Meanwhile, measures are being put in place to ensure a clampdown on student visas, but higher education institutions and their supporters have expressed concerns about such plans. According to Alan Manning, a professor of economics at the London School of Economics and Political Science, the growth in numbers can only be a cause for celebration and a rare example of a part of the UK economy that can be regarded as world-class a major source of export earnings, an important source of funding for educating domestic students and research, and a contribution to the levelling up agenda, given that universities are spread throughout the UK. He added that an arbitrary cap on the number of international students, motivated by a desire to limit the headline net migration figures, is a bad idea. Instead, it is essential to understand what lies behind those numbers. If student numbers are increasing, then net migration will temporarily increase, but the long-run effect will be much smaller. One reason that international students are attracted to the UK is the world-class education they can find in many institutions. However, it is important to realize universities are not just selling an education, they are also selling an opportunity to work in the UK. He added that these factors need more investigations.
Well, there we have it in the United Kingdom, but I would want to find out why the high rise of study visas issued to students an issue that needs to be investigated.
Well, I think we have to appreciate the phenomenal bits of the story in regards to what the investor professor mentioned out. The clear case is about the fact that the high rise of student visa in the UK is growing. And if you check into the prospects, they are great prospects for students if they travel to the UK after acquiring a working permit visa. They're able to work part-time and make some good money and have a good stay. And I think that's where tries to lift the brows of one to assess that, well, I think that there's something happening with these interest in student visa to the UK because there is this big advantage. But all the other around, there's no crime or there's no it's not difficult, it's not a problem with a student trying to access education in the UK because they're well endowed, the education is a world-class type, a good economy, and at the end of the day, students who are trained in these British corridors of higher education are able to contribute back to the British economy. And it's like you pour your water in your ocean. So I don't find a loss for the British government or the country. However, the malice here is with the fact that the malice here is that students or people are finding it quite an enriching area to invest into and then acquire their riches later on because the place or the UK is one very great hub for you to reap your benefit.
Yeah. But do you not think that the fact that the UK has currently hit its international education strategy, which is supposed to end in 2030, I mean, they've already hit that target, we are in 2023, right? So that's 7 years early. Don't you think it's alarming? And perhaps you could blame it on the students who, I mean, people who go to the UK in the name of going to school, they get there and they are not schooling.
You know, the UK Prime Minister, I understand that he is actually a beneficiary of this student visa. Yet today he stands to seize this opportunity for others, or let's say control the access.
I think the right word is control.
Control the access. And I find this quite unfortunate because we have great students out there who would find this opportunity a great one for them to explore. However, let's appreciate how the British government wishes to control immigration and also control the business, the illegal business of selling student visas to people to just in the name of education, and then you get to the UK and then you don't go to school. So we have a travesty of the purpose, education, and then you then tend to be, let's say, an immigrant without official document to be on the UK, and that's what they are really working on. So I find that we have bad ones out there with good people out there. They need to make the right investigations and assess that students who apply for these visas are indeed going for the right purpose.
Okay, but I mean, we can equally use this opportunity and platform to clear a misconception. I have some statistics here that indicates that the top 10 universities that form part of the top 10 countries that form part of the international students in the UK. Okay, so it starts with China, there's United States, there's India, there's Hong Kong, there's Malaysia. I've already mentioned 5, and I did not mention any African country, but there's this perception out there that African countries or Africans form a great part of the number of international students in the UK, US, Canada. I have Nigeria here, it's number 6. It's not even 1. And they form just 2%. So I don't know, I mean, what do you have to say about that?
Well, I think it's allays all the perceptions that if you thought African students, or let's say Nigerians, were highly mobile, or they were the ones
they are.
in search for academic mobility, I think that now you should know that China has high figures than even Nigeria. And it's not about where you're coming from. It's about the purpose. I think international education is an advantage. It's an opportunity, it's a right for everyone to further and acquire more knowledge. However, we've got bad nuts who've gone there not for the right purpose, or to make money out of the opportunity. It should be the right way. I think we should do things right, and it is in the right place for them to investigate and assess who is going to the UK for the right reasons and who is going there for the wrong reasons. Yeah,
indeed, we should do things right. Health news is up next.
In our health story, Ghanaian nutritionist and educationist Fred Amesi has advised people who want to shed some weight and stay fit to substantially reduce their intake of sugar and better still replace sugar with sweet fruits.
According to Mr. Amesi, there is zero nutrient in refined sugar. Therefore, the intake of refined sugar only adds more calories to the human body called empty calories. This is because those calories are not accompanied by any nutritional value. He explained that putting white sugar in a meal does not add any nutritional value to the food, apart from its sweet taste and calories, and also added that refined sugars have become components of our diet to the extent that it is difficult for many people to stop using them altogether. He advised the usage of other alternatives that would provide the sweet taste and some nutritional value. The nutritionist mentioned that there are a lot of sweet fruits that have natural sugars and nutritional values such as dates, which can be blended and added to meals to sweeten them instead of refined sugar. Fred Amesi on 3FM Sunrise Morning Show said that the glycemic index in refined sugar is 100%, a figure representing the relative ability of a carbohydrate food to increase the glucose level in the blood. Thus, refined sugar increases the blood sugar level by 100%. According to the nutritionist, the sudden intake and the sudden decrease create a vicious cycle because the sugar level has suddenly gone down, and due to the extra insulin the body has to produce, the body will require extra sugar again. When that happens, the body is given more sugar than required, and when the body has extra calories, the body deals with it by turning them into fat and stores in the body. He stressed on the importance of weight loss. However, he indicated that individuals who partake in weight loss exercises but do not check the amount of white sugar intake into their system may not be doing the right thing because the extra calories will be converted into stored fat in the body.
With us for Discovery News after the short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap and running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
The improper disposal of groundnut shells in Ghana, significantly in the north, remains a major challenge affecting the land and its inhabitants. But the female students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Modesta Safura Sulemana, through innovative means, has been able to convert groundnut shells into a modified filter paper that traps filth and heavy metals such as lead and cadmium.
Paper filters are very common on the market, and ideally, they are made by using one or more inorganic fibers, plant fibers, and synthetic fibers as raw materials, together with the addition of appropriate amount of chemical additives and fillers combined with using paper-making technology. But it is amazing how Modesta has been able to use agricultural waste to achieve the same purpose.
Filter paper is a modified paper that is being made in such a way that it's able to trap heavy metals from contaminated water. And talking about heavy metals, I am looking at some specific heavy metals, that is lead and cadmium.
Drinking water that is contaminated with lead and cadmium can pose a significant risk to one's health, such as damage to the brain, red blood cell, the heart, kidney, and others.
There's a lot of illegal mining around Ghana, and sometimes some industrial activities contaminate our water bodies. So if our water bodies are so contaminated, why don't we make this paper in such a way that it's able to trap this contaminated substances from the water? So as
Modesta worked on her innovative project with support from 2 of her supervisors within the KNUST campus. Typically, the production of a paper filter takes 5 to 7 days.
We'll be back with great stories in sports and entertainment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. Charging up goes a long way. Strengthen your immune system. Your immune system needs all the help it can get. Eat well, stay hydrated. Hands pick up a lot. Avoid touching your face. Your well-being is in your hands. Sanitize regularly. Stay safe. GTP, timeless.
So it's getting exciting with more news in sport and entertainment, and Jemima is right here. Jemima, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ajaman.
Yeah, what have you got for us to say?
You know, in sports today, Morocco is likely to host the AFCON for 2025. And, you know, something entertaining in entertainment, you know, Thames being one of the Nigerian artists to win the Grammy Award.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Take us.
Okay, so in sports news, Morocco is currently favored to host the Nord for hosting right to the 2025 African Cup of Nations tournament. A number of countries have bid to host the 35th edition of the tournament, but the North African country is ahead of the pack with world-class facilities in place.
The 1976 AFCON winners have presented 6 stadiums as they await a decision from the Confederation of African Football (CAF) on February 10th. The stadiums are Grand Stade de Tanga, Complexe Sportif de Fer, Stade Adra in Agadir, Stade de Marrakech, Stade Moulay Abdallah, and Stade Mohammed V. In an interview with 3 Sports, the director of the Mohammed VI Sports Complex, Mr. Hassan Kabouche, expressed Morocco's readiness to host the competition. He explained that Morocco over the past few years has hosted many international competitions and is always ready to host any tournament because the country has everything it takes to make the host a successful one. He added that the sporting infrastructure of the country has gone through massive investment in the past years, and Morocco is beginning to see progress in football, especially with performances across various national teams. Mr. Hassan also detailed the facilities at the National Sporting Complex, which include an Olympic-sized swimming pool, over 1,000 rooms for players, 4 natural grass football pitches, and more. He added that there are more sporting complexes spread across the country.
And in our entertainment news, Nigerian artist Tamilade Openiyi, known in showbiz circles as Thames, has earned her first Grammy Award for the contribution of future hit singing Waiting For You, making the first Nigerian female artist with a Grammy Award.
On Saturday night, Thames's vocals were sampled on a single that also features Canadian megastar rapper Drake. The 65th Grammy Award was hosted by the world's greatest artist at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles on Sunday, February 5th. The 27-year-old Thames is the first non-mixed Nigerian female musician to win the prestigious award under the Best Melodic Rap Performance category. Said Adu, who won the Grammy for Best New Artist in 1986, and Cynthia Erivo, who bagged Best Theatre Album in 2017, were British Nigerians.
The Afrobeat singer has added this to her list of accomplishments following her Africa Future Awards win and her Oscar nomination. Afrobeat artist Burna Boy lost his nominations in both categories. The African giant was beaten by Japan's Masa Takumi to win the Best Global Album category and South Africa's Zig Bantwini, Walter Kellerman, and Nomsebo Zikode to win the Best Global Music Performance category.
So that is all for our sport and entertainment news. My name is Jemima Daladem Duche. Business news is up next.
On business news, the International Monetary Fund has earmarked Angola, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa as the world's fastest growing economies in its recent World Economic Outlook.
Angola is set to reclaim its spot as the third largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, thanks to a return to growth linked to higher oil prices. The IMF expects Angola's GDP to expand by 8.6% this year, reaching $135 billion. Ethiopia is set to replace Kenya as the fourth largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, according to the IMF. The IMF predicts Ethiopia's GDP to reach $126.2 billion this year, expanding by 13.5%. This is an impressive figure. The Ethiopia's economy will likely continue to grow in the coming years. As the largest economy on the continent, Nigeria maintains its top spot in sub-Saharan Africa's economy ranking. The IMF predicts that Nigeria's GDP will hit $574 billion this year. The IMF predicts that South Africa will retain its position as the second largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa with a GDP of $422 billion this year. According to the IMF, Kenya's GDP is projected to record a slower growth of 2.4% this year due to the aftershock of the COVID-19 pandemic, drought, election jitters, and disruption of global supply chains. The result shows that the economy could quadruple in size and its growth is expected to be at 3.6% in 2023 and rise to 3.9% in 2024.
On international fronts, more than 5,000 people have died and rescuers are racing to pull survivors from beneath the rubble after the devastating earthquake on Monday. Authorities fear the death toll from Monday's pre-dawn magnitude 7.8 tremor, followed by a magnitude 7.6 earthquake, and several aftershocks will continue to climb as rescuers continue to look for survivors.
Rescuers searched through the frigid night into Tuesday morning, hoping to dig more survivors out of the rubble as those trapped cried out for help from beneath mountains of debris. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said on Tuesday that the death toll from the earthquakes in Turkey has risen massively. Orhan Tatar, an official with Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, AFAD, said earlier on Tuesday that 20,426 others were injured. Tatar said more than 5,700 buildings had also been destroyed. In Syria, at least more than 1,600 people were killed and over 3,500 others injured, according to the Ministry of Health and the White Helmet Rescue Organization. 10 cities in southern Turkey have been declared disastrous areas.
Thank you for staying with us on AAU TV Mid-Week News. We'll do a quick recap on our stories.
UK students' visas break record ceiling. University professor calls for investigations. And also earthquake wrecks Turkey and Syria, over 5,000 lives lost.
Discovery Story K and his students makes filter paper from agricultural waste. In our sports news, Morocco earmarked to host AFCON 2025.
And now we are using this opportunity to welcome you all to watch AAU TV's upcoming Valentine's show called The Mimosa Show. Ajaman, over to you.
So, if you're really having a good time in your love life, or you really want to know more about love, or perhaps tell how great your family has fared over the years, I think this show is the great opportunity for you to share your story as friends, as lovers, and also as a family.
And the Mimosa Show promises to be a very entertaining one. And thank you for staying with us.